Strap yourself in for Keeping It Real with Jac Ral.
Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jac and Ral. I am Gabrielle Dolan and you are?
Jack Phillips.
And this episode is all about
Failing fast.
failing fast. I wasn't going to say this is a beauty because then we said everyone's a beauty.
Well, they all are good topics and they probably appeal, different topics appeal to different people, right?
Yeah.
So it's important to keep it broad. Hey, failing fast, this is I'm triggered a little bit by this one.
Did you fail a lot? Or?
I do fail a lot and I have no problems with failing a lot and I fail hourly. In fact, I embrace failure and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But I tell you where I fail the most. Can you guess?
Being quiet.
Well, that's not a failure. You all want to hear my dulcet tones. Oh, have another go. Where else might I fail?
Cooking?
Yes.
Only because you tell me how much you don't like it.
But you don't like it.
You do cook some cakes. You embrace your Nigella.
I'm going to have to be totally transparent and honest with you.
Every time you said you've made those cakes, you haven't made them.
I have made the cake.
Oh, right.
I have made the cake. But have a guess how I've made the cake.
With a packet mix.
Correct. Because failure is not an option when it comes to making a cake, and I cannot, for the life of me, make a cake. So I use a cake mix, and sometimes those even fail.
Oh, my God. Do you use the cake mixes where you have to, add an egg?
Yes, of course.
Oh, because then that was the
Now
whole,
I'm cooking, yes,
that was
I
the whole
do.
Betty,
Crocker.
Yeah. It was just
Add an egg. Well,
add
people
an
weren't
egg
buying
and
the
then
cake
people
mix.
said, I made it because it feels like you've made it.
I would not have an
What's
issue
been
not
your
adding an
biggest
egg.
cooking failure?
I made a birthday cake for Madeline one year, and I think she was 5 or 6, and my darling mother-in-law, God rest her heart, she's dead, said to me—
After eating your cake?
No, she wouldn't touch the cake. So out it came, and it was all sinky in the middle, and I thought enough icing and, jelly beans and M&Ms, no one will
Kids
know,
won't,
the kids
yeah.
won't know. And she took one look and she said, Jack, that is such a failure. That's a disaster. You're not going to serve that, are you? I said, get out of my way, Marg. I'm absolutely serving this. No time to make another one.
No. With kids, you just fill it up with bloody
Well,
jelly
Richard
beans
eats
or something.
my packet cakes weekly,
Right.
full of processed bits other than the egg and the milk and a little bit of melted butter, I suppose. I hate cooking and I absolutely fail at it and do not enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yet I know you're a good cook.
I'll tell you one massive cooking failure, and this was years ago. I was early 20s and we just moved out of home. Me and my brother moved out of home and he was a chef.
Did you move in together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was a chef at the Ford factory. So they made everything
On site.
But on mass.
Yeah.
Not mass.
Sure.
And he brought home this chicken stock. So chicken stock powder. But when you buy chicken stock powder, it comes in a little tin, right?
Yes.
This
I
was
like how you look at me as if I know. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay.
No, I do
Chicken
know.
stock powder.
And you can get it in cubes
Yeah,
as
you
well.
can get
and
it
you
in
can get
cubes
broth.
or you can get it in a little tin.
Yeah.
And a little tin would be
Sure, and it's powder.
yeah, it's powder.
Yeah.
But this was in a big bucket. It was a huge bucket.
Yes.
And I remember I was making chicken satay
Oh.
and the recipe said a cup of chicken stock. So because
cup of the
I
powder.
was this big thing and this I'd probably never made, I would never have
Stop
made
making
chicken satay.
excuses. Get to the bloody
I
punchline.
got a cup of chicken stock powder
Yeah, and just tip that in
and tip that in.
without adding
And
water
then,
or...
the rest, and then I wondered why it was a bit dry, so I added some water. And then I remember I served it up and my friend just spat it out and said, oh my God, this is so salty.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I didn't add any salt. I couldn't figure out why it was so salty. I reckon to years later when I went, dickhead. It was a
Still,
chicken.
that's how you learn.
So it should have been a half a teaspoon and I put in a
a whole
cup.
cup. Very easy to do. That's the sort of thing I would do now, not back in my 20s.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't worry. And quite frankly, you failed fast. You never did it again.
No, I never did it again.
No one ever came by and asked to eat at your place again.
Everyone does. So failure. So it's about failing fast and how we think of failure, isn't it?
That is exactly the point of this episode, Ral. It's not what you do after failure. It's actually how you experience it and reframe it.
Yeah. And I think reframing what failure means. I've had so many people sort of conversations over the years where people go, "Are you scared of failing?" And I would just go, "Well," and then in the end I would go, "No," but then I'd go, "Well, what's your definition of failure?"
Yeah.
And some people think if you don't come first, you're failed. Like to me, that is just
mental.
Like if you don't come first, you're failed. Where I would go, if you don't even have a go in the first case, that's fine.
Couldn't agree more. If you haven't had a crack, then
Yeah.
that is failure.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because what is the definition of failure? I mean, how would you define failure? Not having a go, clearly.
I think it's not having a go.
On the scale of massive failures, just think about this in your lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay, not necessarily your failures, but just when you think of failure, how would you define failure? What do you sort of consider a massive failure?
Yeah.
It can be anything.
So that's a good question, because I would seriously say to you, hand on my heart, I've never failed at anything, only because it's a reframe. I didn't achieve what I wanted. It didn't work out. Like I can think of heaps of things where I did a fun run, a bike ride, and came second last. And it was just
last and things.
But I'm having a go.
You're having
I was
a crack.
out there doing something.
Absolutely, and you're learning something.
You've applied for jobs that, here we go.
Speaking of failure,
Someone's not only mowing the lawns,
but they're also
but they do
blower.
a very good thing where they come in and blow it right at the
very
doorway.
thorough.
But
Very
it's
thorough.
good service.
Very good service, just perhaps not when we're podcasting. However, we're not going to say that's a failure. We're going to say that's a learning.
That's life. So
10:30 on this day, we won't be re-recording a podcast. There's the learning.
No,
what were you going to
it's
say?
like not going for a job and not getting it.
That's not a failure.
Some people could say, "Oh, so you failed." I was like, "No, I had to go.
I was
And you
unsuccessful."
learn. So you've done things that haven't worked out.
Yeah, totally. Years ago when I was in Singapore, I think you know the story. I'd put on a couple of kilos. I was eating and drinking my weight in noodles daily. Anyway, need to go somewhere fancy. Didn't have some underwear to suck the gut in, so and couldn't find
Well,
it.
here comes the blower. You could have got the blower to suck that gut in.
The way that guy out there's going, I line up. Anyway,
He's moving on
came
to
up with
the
my own
neighbours.
brand idea and I'd never made shapewear in my life. I was not a fashion designer. I can't even sew. But I figured that there was a need and a demand, and so I came up with a solution. Anyway, created a brand called Cheekwear. Yeah, so had a bit of fun with Cheekwear, got it going, and we're living in Singapore, and Richard was home full-time with 2 little babies. I'm out doing the corporate thing and doing Cheekwear. And so I get really busy with the corporate thing and sort of travelling Southeast Asia, and he's left with all these bras and he's got to get them into stores and use promoters to, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he didn't enjoy any of it, but he stuck by me, bless his heart. And it ended up not going anywhere. I was well ahead of my time because it was shapewear that looked good. But can I tell you, I learned more about e-commerce because I started to sell online when e-commerce was just coming out. I learned more about business and entrepreneurship. It was the best MBA in business and learning and marketing that I could have ever done.
Yeah.
And it didn't cost me a lot. So some might say, oh, that was a failure. I say it was a massive learning. I got really confident about a whole lot of things.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Like some people would say
awesome.
that's a failure. I'd go, well, it didn't turn into a multi-billion-dollar company, but you've just learned.
I learned huge amounts. In fact, it was really pleasing to see when I was sort of thinking about this topic that the Spanx founder, so Spanx was a massive brand in the US, Sarah Blakely, her dad asked her at dinner, what did you fail at this week? That was a normal thing to ask,
Right.
So not at dinner, how was your day? I hope it went well. What were you good at?
Yeah.
What did you fail at this week?
Yeah,
So
I like that.
normalising not winning or normalising not succeeding. How cool.
Yeah, so what that story tells me is like she was raised in an environment where failure was seen as a good thing. And fully supported. And it's like if you're not failing, you're not winning hard enough.
No, absolutely. You're not succeeding, agree, or you're not learning. So really failure is about success.
Yeah.
And I think there's some of our major tech companies, some of the world's global, big global tech companies talk about that. There's actually got to be room for failure. If you're not failing, then we haven't been able to innovate or we haven't been able to push forward.
Yeah.
So it is a reframe of what failing is.
Yeah.
So if you're
see
listening,
that, Jack, sorry, it's all the space launches where they send up a space and it explodes.
Yeah.
And most people would go, "Oh my God, what a failure!" And they're going, "No, we got 33 seconds, which is 3 seconds more than what we planned to."
So that's actually
they're learning.
iteration.
They're learning something with each
iteration.
Yeah. Just a quick reminder: if you want to support Jack and myself,
please,
for us to produce more of this stuff, then jump over to Patreon and become a subscriber. If you're a subscriber, you'll get early access to podcasts ad-free. You will get bonus episodes. We're doing a lot of good
masterclasses,
bonus episode masterclasses, early access to live events, a whole heap of stuff. Hopefully that's of value, but it supports us.
It's of value.
It supports us and keeps us
priceless.
helping. Can you shut up? All right. You know where to find us, Patreon, and come and subscribe.
So failing fast should equal to failing recklessly. And again, we're redefining failure because it's about reducing the cost of failure by learning quickly and adjusting earlier. So they say that failure, and I did a quick little check on this, Ral, if you are somebody who tries to avoid failure, who doesn't like risk, there's a really strong correlation that you're not very resilient. And that makes total sense to me.
Yeah, it does.
Total sense.
Well, based on the Spanx woman, it was like she's
become resilient,
highly resilient because she
right.
was raised that way.
What did we fail at this week? What a great question.
And I think also too, it's like the resilience to me is, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll be fine. I'll do something
exactly
else.
Right. I'll move on.
I'll
try again.
I'll move on.
That's
and
right.
It can be little things. So there's been times throughout the last 20 years when I've run public workshops, for example. So you put, public workshop out there, and the risk, I guess, if there's a risk, is no one turns up.
Yeah.
Or no one buys a ticket. Or the worst case is one or two people buy a ticket, which means,
public workshops become very personal.
What do you do because you're not making money? So there have been times where I've put the workshop up on my website, I've advertised it. It's been weeks go by, no one's bought a ticket. I just take it off the website.
Well done.
Don't advertise it again. There was one time that only one person had bought a ticket, and I thought, I can't run a workshop for one person. Yeah. And I literally just contacted them and said, due to unforeseen circumstances, I've had to.
And they were unforeseen because you expected a lot of people to have bought the ticket to the workshop.
I think I actually said, look, I'll refund you money, but let's have just a one-on-one and
How nice.
a little half hour or whatever. So.
How nice. But you moved on from it, is your point.
Yes,
you weren't rocking in a corner for a week.
There, going, oh my God, no one loves me, no one,
No, because you're resilient, Ral, and this is where let's just have a little chat about resilience. I think there's another episode on resilience which we will do. So they say resilience is in 3 layers: emotional, acknowledging feelings without letting them paralyze you. So
so
feeling a bit shit about that particular outcome.
No one bought a ticket to the workshop. So what?
Whatever. Behavioural, taking constructive next steps quickly.
Yes.
So you said, okay, well, if no one's coming, there's no point running the workshop, and I'll contact the one person that has.
Absolutely. Because if I run the workshop with 1 or 2 people, there's gonna be I'll run that at a loss.
Yeah. The third one, so we've got emotional, behavioural, these are resilience and 3 layers. The third one, social, and this is what I want to talk to you about. Surrounding yourself with people who can give perspective and encouragement. How have you become really resilient? Who have you surrounded yourself with that has given you perspective and encouragement? Not everyone is like you.
No.
So think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that when I was the whole thought leaders community and having people in my network like you and others in my network that I can call on when, you're perhaps going like, what did this work? And it's just most of the time it's constructive feedback of how to do better. It was like, maybe the market's not right or the timing's not right or the pricing's not right. But I don't hang around people that
miserable
are not supportive,
minds.
miserable minds,
or Debbie Downers.
No. I just can't. it's like I have a physical reaction when I'm around people that are negative, and I just can't.
Me too.
I have zero tolerance for people that are negative. And sometimes it's like a friend of a friend, and my friend's going, oh, they're a really nice person. I go, they might be, but every time I've seen them,
Victim.
they're whinging about something. And I seriously have a physical reaction. I feel
I'm
like
with
just
you.
going, and
I'm
I
with
just
you.
have to walk away.
I'm with you. Do you think that's sort of, I don't know, evolved over time? Like, do you think you were always like that?
Well, I think I have been. I think it's got better. Like I think you do get better, and we will talk about like the failure muscle. But I remember growing up, like, and I've told the story, when I applied for a job and I didn't get it, and
We've all done that.
and it was advertised. This is when I was 17, and it was advertised in the paper, and Mum said, "We'll apply for it again." And so when you're being told that throughout your life growing up, like the Spanx woman, she was clearly raised in an environment where it was like, oh, we'll get out and have another go.
Exactly right.
And we were always, well, if it doesn't work out, just
That's right.
get out and do something different and have another go.
It was like Dad.
So I think it was, I think we were raised that way, definitely. And so
lucky.
it just,
lucky in that
because
respect. However, if anyone's listening to this who were raised by parents that were risk averse or who weren't as optimistic, that doesn't mean to say that you need to be like that.
No, exactly.
So take
Exactly.
control. Take control.
It's like we talked about that in the episode we did on confidence.
Yeah.
And it's the confidence, it is part DNA. You can be raised, part of you. It's way you're raised, but it's also the people that you surround yourself with. So
Totally
your
right.
environment. So, I mean,
right.
you can just imagine if you're surrounded by people that go, it doesn't matter, let's go out and do it again, or just try something different, or, or there's plenty more fish in the sea type
all
thing.
of that sort of thing.
All of that.
Exactly
as opposed,
right.
Some people go, oh my God, that's terrible.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Yes.
Like there are some people that
Oh,
do
that make it so dramatic.
Oh, my
I
God,
know.
that
I
would
know.
be so embarrassing. And
Yeah.
you're going, oh, now I feel really shit.
Yeah, but not for long, because then
Not
you go,
for
hang
long.
on.
And I
no,
would
no,
just
it
go,
wasn't.
"What?
It's no
Like,
big
I'll
deal.
go,
Exactly
tell me
right.
why. I've had some people say, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. And
Yeah.
I'll just go, how is that? Like, I didn't even understand why
That would be embarrassing. Yeah, but how much energy and time and effort do you want to give that thought, quite
No,
frankly?
I don't. Well, yeah.
So you move on. Okay, so let's just talk about, so there's resilience in 3 layers: emotional, behavioural, social. There's also the how, yeah? So the feel, let yourself feel the sting. So avoid toxic positivity. So it's okay to go, oh, shit, I feel a bit
Shit, I
bad
missed
about
out.
that, or
I really wanted that job.
yeah, I'm a bit disappointed.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay. Admit it.
Yeah.
Lean into it. That's all good. Then think, and this is, my favourite line, if you're not winning, you are learning.
Yeah.
Extract the lesson from the failure. What specifically caused that to happen? Now, interesting, you just said, well, there could be many things.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people I coach day in, day out that say to me, I can't believe it. I keep getting down to the last 2 in an interview.
Yeah.
Or I've tried to be promoted 3 times and I always miss out and it's just one other person. And they say, there must be something wrong with me. Yes, there might be something wrong with you, but there's a good chance there's a whole lot of other variables. So we know, thanks to AI, that, there are 3 times more numbers of people applying for roles because you can do it so much quicker now with AI, right?
Oh, okay.
So the number of applicants to roles have all increased dramatically. Sometimes there's already somebody internally earmarked, but they've got to go out.
They've got to go
all
through
of that. Sometimes it's a personality or a culture thing. There can be so many variables as to why you don't get a role. And even when you ask for feedback, they can sometimes tell you nonsense just to move you on or not give you any feedback at all.
Yeah.
The point here is try and understand why you didn't get the role, why you failed. It's not a failure. But then move on and move on fast. Hey, Ral, you're supposed to say yes, Jack.
Yes, Jack.
They say if you immerse yourself in something, you become an expert. Would you agree?
I would agree.
So we've got an immersion coming up.
We have, and you can immerse yourself.
Keepers can come and immerse themselves not only with us, but with our content, our advice and coaching, our food and wine, our luxurious accommodation. Where do they come to, Ral?
So we got 3 days in Milawa, which is the King Valley region of Victoria.
Beautiful.
23rd to the 25th of October. You'll get 4 masterclasses. You'll get 3 amazing lunches where we're going to connect with everyone. You get 2 mentoring walks every morning with Jack and myself and the others, and you get 1 amazing celebratory dinner. So if investing in you is important, come join us in Millawa.
And the important thing is they get to network and create connections that will absolutely help their careers.
Yeah, I barrack for Collingwood in the AFL.
Speaking of failure. No, that's not true,
They've
actually.
had but you know what? I actually every week I watch Craig McRae's podcast, not podcast episode, his interview after the game.
Okay.
Because I think he is
know
a
who Craig
brilliant. So
McRae
he's the
is.
coach.
Oh,
sorry.
gosh, okay.
I think he's a brilliant coach, and especially the last.
Why? What makes him brilliant?
Well, because the last few weeks they've lost, like they were sitting on top of the ladder nearly most of the season, and they've lost 4 out of 5 games.
And he's a brilliant coach.
But every time he talks about when they lose, he will go, it's feedback.
Yeah.
Every loss is feedback.
It's true.
And he will often go,
Insight.
sometimes you can win and feel like losers, and sometimes you can lose and feel like it. And he's just always positive. He never, he never whinges and complains.
Or
but
plays
he
the
will
victim
just,
or
he just
excuses.
says everything's feedback.
Yeah.
We are just trying to get better every game,
time.
and every loss is feedback.
And who are they playing this weekend? Any idea?
No,
I just wondered.
because I don't know when this episode's going to.
I don't know. Well, I'm just curious because I'm just wondering how many times I just know how ruthless the whole AFL is just in regards to coaches, and they seem to be sacking them left, right and centre at the moment.
He's got no danger of that.
Oh, listen to that. I love that
Well,
confidence.
well, they won a grand final. Like,
Sure.
they'll be playing finals this year.
Yeah, okay. So they're not.
Well, by the time this episode goes to air, I think they will be they'll be finals. So they're not.
confidence. I love that confidence, even though they've had 4 losses.
Oh yeah, they can't not make the finals.
Right. Wow.
Like there's only Jack. Do you know how the AFL system works?
Well, I do.
Jesus Christ.
I do. It's the top 8, right?
Yes, all right.
And what
so
are we in? So
there's 2 rounds at the time.
okay. Oh, they will be in the finals. Got it. It's just a deduction of numbers thing.
It's just a number thing.
Sure.
You get a certain amount of win a certain amount of games. You are definitely
maybe Craig needs to listen to this podcast.
Little podcast episode on the rules
of the AFL because that won't get any listens.
Okay,
So the
let's do
how, feel, think, act. Hang on, let me finish this.
Yeah.
Make a small, bold move immediately to rebuild momentum, which is what we're talking about, right?
Yep.
So keep going. Be optimistic and keep going. Got it. Okay. Did you know James Dyson had 5,127 failed prototypes before his famous Dyson vacuum worked?
There you go.
So imagine if he gave up after 5,124.
Yeah.
He would have been 3 off the mark.
God knows what our carpets and hair would look like without the Dyson.
The Dyson.
Without
All right.
the Dyson.
You've got a really interesting analogy around weightlifting. Well, not an analogy, it's an example when it comes to failure.
So we often talk about the confidence muscle and the failure muscle as a bit of an analogy, treated as a muscle. But when you want to increase your strength, so you're doing weightlifting, the aim is to fail. For example,
I'd be good at that.
You want to increase your biceps.
Yep.
So you do 10 reps of let's just say a 8 kilogram barbell.
Yep.
And you do 10.
Yep.
And then the next 10 you increase the weight to say 9 and you do 10 of that. And you keep increasing to the point you cannot do 10.
So you're looking to fail.
You look to fail. So if you can do your 10,
it's too easy.
It's too easy. Increase your weight. And it's got to be to the point. So that is an absolute what did you fail at? It was like
I'm increasing my failure
and
muscle.
the reason you're doing that is your muscles are getting stronger each time.
What a nice.
So not only
optimistic
a metaphor, but a literal thing you can do.
So each time you are failing at building strength using weights, you're actually succeeding in that you are building muscle and you're getting stronger.
If you're not putting absolute strain on your muscles, then they're not getting stronger. That's just the way it works.
Which is also how resilience works, right?
Yes.
The reason that you don't fall into a corner if you don't get 500 people buying your public workshops is because you know how to overcome that and move on from it. Yeah,
absolutely.
The reason we apply for jobs and we don't stop applying is because we build that resilience and we recognise that that's just part of life.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh, we go with that. Let's do a few little quick tips
All right.
to finish it off. I think one is we like that 24-hour rule. Like,
Yeah.
it's not
That's a
just
good
saying,
one.
oh, everything is okay. It's to go, oh, that really sucked. I didn't get that job and feel it. And again, going back to my AFL analogy, they literally go, if they've had a loss, they let it sit with it for 24 hours and then bang on.
Yep.
You've got another game in 6 days' time.
Which means you need to straight away turn your
it's feedback,
focus to that.
move on. You had one about a failure resume.
Yeah, I read this. I thought it was really good, So this is about creating a failure resume where you actually list your flops and what they taught you. So again, it's instead of maybe a failure resume, maybe it's a learning resume or a learning list.
Yeah.
What did I learn this year? So, we're 9 months into the year, 10 months into the year. What did I learn this year from things that didn't work out?
Yep. You know what I like about
Reframe
that? If you ever go for a job interview, you should also have a list of all the things you've achieved. But so you would talk about all the things you've achieved. I reckon the most powerful answer you would give to anything is when you failed at something and what you learn from it.
Love it.
Because that's
the more we do
that's
that,
gold if you can
better.
get something in a job
the
interview.
more we do that, the better.
And I think the other final tip is be very mindful of your support network, who you're surrounding yourself with.
Couldn't agree more. So this is where a great coach, a great mentor, a great tribe of women or a great tribe of men or people,
Friend or
they,
partner.
thems, he, hers, him, she's, whatever it is, the point is that you are the sum of those around you, right? So often a client will come to me, they'll be pretty down in the dumps for a variety of reasons. By the end of that coaching session, they are a different person because somebody has said, I believe in you.
Yeah.
I reckon you can get through this.
You're in their corner.
You're in their corner. So hang around with the jovial Jacs and the rambunctious Rals.
Yes. Oh, right. What is
I knew you were going to ask me that. What does rambunctious mean, Jac? Is that what you were going to say? Energetic, noisy, and a bit out of control, often in a fun or playful way. That's you, Ral.
That's me. What is
out of
What's
control?
the word again?
Rambunctious.
Rambunctious.
Yeah. You know how to spell it?
No,
Don't go there.
I don't know how to spell it.
Well, it could help you fail fast.
No, spelling's not my strength. Okay, keepers, as usual, if you liked what you heard, please share and rate. Tell your friends, share it away, and we will see.
And if you don't like us, we don't care
Really care.
because we're really resilient. Bye, keepers.
See ya.
You've been listening to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jac and Ral. If you like what you've heard, don't forget to tell others about it and give a 5-star review. They may seem confident, but they really are sensitive 5-star needy souls. Yeah, right. Keeping It Real, created by Jac Phillips and Gabriel Dolan. Produced by Keehlan Ferrari-Brown. And this really real voiceover, spoken by Richard Phillips.